Very warm welcome to all of you for today's Leader in You book discussion, Mindset. Before we dive into this book discussion, or I hand over the platform to Aasawari, our speaker of the day, the facilitator for the day, I would love to take a few minutes from you to share what's coming up, something exciting that's coming up in Grow Satori's platform. First, just like the Leader in You community, we have another community called GWS Learning Guild, which is a dedicated community for HR, OD, and L&D leaders. And we are having a wonderful session titled Learning Agility, Thriving in a World of Constant Change. And it is happening on 27th of July. So if you are an HR, OD, or L&D leader, feel free to join the community. We'll have the link shared with you in the chat in some time. Um, why do we think learning agility is required? Well, I will hold on to that thought and then let the facilitator of this session help you find it out, because this is an interactive virtual workshop where you will discover how to build the mindset, really going one more layer deeper and understand the behaviors that help you adapt, learn faster, and stay effective, even when everything around you changes. After this, the bestseller of Grow with Satori, Once Upon a Leader. We are going to host the session 7 of Once Upon a Leader. And this time, we have picked up the topic of the process of kintsugi. It's a Japanese art where they make a beautiful outcome of a broken bowl or a broken pot. And the session is on 28th of July. These sessions are full of conversation, opening yourself out, and taking a lot of inspiration from the ancient stories to what is related in our current life. We'll have the link shared with you shortly now. After that, on 22nd of August, we are going to have an amazing conversation around conflict to candor. Now, this is an in-person 4-hour session happening in Treehouse, Indranagar. And it's happening on 22nd of August, especially for the Leader in You community, because you are our special women. We have a 50% off if you enroll to this session. I'm going to share the details, how you can enroll with that discount code shortly in the chat. And finally, our Gift of Growth initiative, which is none other than low bono coaching initiative for the people, for making coaching available for every professional at every level. We have opened the nomination form to accept. We are accepting nomination for our Gift of Growth, and we would love to hear from you in case you have somebody who you want to nominate. Finally, something about difficult conversations and the courage to connect. And that's what we are going to talk about on 21st of August. And this is a 2-hour virtual session. Details will be shared with you soon in the chat. Now, finally, a little bit about Aasawari, our dearest facilitator. Though she is a colleague, and I know how much she is driven by the belief that people hold more potential than they realize. And this passion has taken her from the corporate spaces to coaching teenagers with confidence, lot of self-esteem, and personality development. So her journey spans from entrepreneurship, leadership at Toastmaster International, and qualifying at UGC Net. Outside work, she says she loves to dance, driving, and exploring food, but I have never seen her doing it yet, especially the dance part. Over to you, Aasawari. I let you help us explore our mindset. Please help.
Thank you so much, Ishita, for that beautiful introduction. Thank you so much. And a very, very warm welcome to all the ladies who have joined today's Leader in You Lean In Circle. Before we start this session, I'd just like to quickly know from all of you how many of you have read the book, are thinking to read it, or are midway in your journey of reading Mindset by Carol Dweck. Please feel
It's in my
free
list.
to share. Planning to read? Okay.
I have
Thank
a
you for
fond
sharing
memory
that.
of reading this book when I was a teenager.
That was like 15 years, 20 years back. I had picked this book from book fair that time. That time book fairs were very popular, and I had picked this book that time.
So I'm looking forward to a lot of insights from you, Yasha, since you have read the book. I'm sure you'll have a lot to share. So it's wonderful for all of you who have read it. I'm sure that you'll spark a lot of conversation and insights for us in this session. And for those of you who haven't read it and plan to read it, believe you me, it's a good choice. And through this session, you'll get an idea about the core concepts, the ideas that is spoken about in the book, and how we can apply it in our lives, how subconsciously we might already be exhibiting those concepts, that are mentioned in the book. So we'll dive in the session. The book, as you know, is Mindset. And a quick introduction about the author of the book. She is Carol Dweck, who is an American psychologist, holds a PhD in psychology from Yale University. And she has been, for her work in psychology, in terms of her academic contribution and research, she has been bestowed upon with the Lewis and Virginia Eaton Professorship of Psychology honor at Stanford University, which is one of the highest honors that can be bestowed upon a professor for their contribution. Now, what does this book Mindset talk about? So Dweck has always been intrigued by this question. Why is it that people respond differently to the same situations, to the same experiences in front of them? Why is it that when there is a challenge, some people thrive, but others give up? Some people are bogged down by failures, others still manage to, move ahead and achieve goals and outcomes. And through her research in psychology, which is what she has also encapsulated in the book, she says the answer to this question lies in the belief that we hold about our ability, which is the mindset that we have. And that determines the belief about ability, determines whether we have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. And that explains the different response to similar situations. So we'll explore, so these are the core concepts in the book, and we'll explore, discuss, reflect each one of these one by one. So, what is growth mindset? The growth mindset, according to Dweck, is the belief that your abilities, your talents, they can be developed, they can be cultivated through hard work, through intelligent strategies, and inputs from others. So, people with growth mindset believe that abilities are something that can be built over time through effort. And because of this belief that they have, people with growth mindset, they tend to value learning because they know that is how they can improve and better themselves. They embrace challenges because they see these as opportunities to learn and move ahead. They are able to be more persistent and consistent in the face of setbacks. They focus on the process that leads to achieving the goal and the outcome. For them, success is about achievement, but it is also about learning and improving themselves, asking themselves, am I better off today than where I was a couple of months back? They treat failure as information, as data point about what worked and what did not work, and it does not become an identity, of who they are. It does not define them. And these people, they see effort as necessary in the journey of growing and learning. And there are some examples uh, of growth mindset. So one of the famous examples is Thomas Edison's example, where he says, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And this was a statement that he made while he was discovering, of course, the light bulb. And would you like to take any guesses as to why this is a growth mindset statement? Why do you think this is a growth mindset statement?
The way he is looking at failure, that perspective itself is giving him a lot of impetus to keep trying. So that is a growth mindset.
Yes. He's treating it as information that helps him discover, that helps him learn, and not, get bogged down by it. He's treating it very objectively as data points and as information. Absolutely. Another example is by Michael Jordan. He says, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take the game winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. Here again, we know why it is growth mindset. Because he's still persisting, he's still trying, he's still moving ahead. Yeah, we'll watch a video to better understand what growth mindset is. But before we watch it, are there any questions from anybody that you'd like me to answer or discuss? Okay, I'll take that as a signal to move ahead.
I feel for me most of the time is good time. Either you're learning or you're enjoying what you have learned. So it's not the ups and the downs. You lose some, you win some. When you win, you celebrate. When you lose, you learn. Either ways, I'm having a good time.
As I said, it's always, you are unfazed by good and bad. So how do you maintain that calm, cool exterior?
Very simple. Don't think about the result. It's a result that puts pressure on us. What if this happens? What if we don't win the game? What if we don't get selected? But again, worry about the controllables, and whatever the controllables are, we take care of it, we'll get the desired result. If we don't get the desired result, we'll improve. We'll change our plans, we'll execute better, and we'll get a chance to prove ourselves again. So, that's what it is. Thinking about the result never gives you result. Yes, you may have a target in mind, but what is more important is to take care of the small steps in life, what needs to be done, what I am supposed to do, what extra I can do, and that will help us achieve the target. The most important thing is whenever I am going out representing my country, I want to give it my best shot. It's not about the expectation that others have from me. For me, it's all about what good I can do, how well I can contribute. I always felt country was the biggest motivation for me. It was never about scoring runs or taking wickets. It was more about the team should do well and we should win the games. And that always helped because it kept things very simple. Once you start getting into the groove of I want to score runs, I want to take wickets, I want to do this, we play a team sport. So for us, it's always about, all of us moving together. And what is something that you can do, but maybe some of the others can't do. To realize all of that and then to move forward, taking that added responsibility, that's what makes you, slightly special. The most important ingredient, yes, hard work is there, dedication is there, passion is there, but I felt being honest is one of the most important things. To start off being honest to yourself. Unless you are honest to yourself, you can't be honest to others. And what it also does is, it helps you in accepting what the shortcomings are. You may not be a great player, may not be a great human being, but if you're willing to accept the shortcomings, you can always look to improve. You can go to people, you can ask for help, and there'll be people to guide you out. Whether it's your seniors, whether it's your parents, close friends, whoever those may be. And I always felt all these things really helped me keep moving ahead in life. Throughout being honest towards the goal. What is the goal? The goal is not for me, it was never to score so many runs for India. For me, it was always, how we'll be able to win a game. Whether you are the captain or you're not the captain. What you want is, how much you have contributed for the team to win. So, that's what it is. Thinking about the result never gives you result. Yes, you may have a target in mind, but what is more important is to take care of the small steps in life, what needs to be done, what I am supposed to do, what extra I can do, and that will help us achieve the target. I personally always felt sport teaches you a lot in life. It teaches you how to deal with the losses, the failures, and at the same time, how to behave when you are successful. You need to show a lot of respect to the opposition or the contender you are competing with, but at the same time, be humble in life, enjoy what you are supposed to, and have respect for everybody around you.
Yes. Can see a very big smile on Yasha's face. Sayali was also smiling. There's a clap from Rizwana. What are your thoughts on watching this video? What aspects of growth mindset is he talking about?
He mentioned just one phrase: thinking about the result doesn't get you the result. We need to take the small steps.
Yes, and that is why, if you remember in the previous slide, it was mentioned it is about focusing on the process that will take you to that result. Absolutely, and taking small steps towards it. And that is what people with growth mindset they actually do. They have an outcome which gives them direction, which gives them a target, but they are managing the process that is leading them towards that outcome. They're not thinking, I have to be the best, I have to achieve the top result. They are focused upon the steps that can help them get there. Yes, yes. Sayali, Rizwana, Srividya, Shivani, what are your thoughts?
Yes, madam. Uh, Actually, we always think about the result. What will happen if I get failure or if I am unable to speak, whatever it. That creates a very pressure, fear, doubt, self-doubt is also there. So that is true. Even though if you get the failure, no, whatever you are doing, your job, your career, you have to walk, you have to take a small step that he said. Uh, you have to daily you have to do something about what you have to achieve, one simple step. And एक दिन ऐसा आ जाएगा कि you will achieve what you want to achieve. तो growth mindset is like that कि हमें डिप्रेस नहीं होना है अगर फेल्यूर भी आया तो. जैसे कि
Yes,
वो जो प्लेयर था, वो उसका मुझे इतना पता नहीं था, ज्यादा जानकारी नहीं थी उसके बारे में, लेकिन सी हाउ मेनी टाइम्स ही वाज फेल्योर, राइट. तो पेशेंस खुद खुद के साथ और हमेशा चल के रहना चाहिए. दैट इज द
yes.
मेन थिंग जो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. बहुत सारे लोग छोड़ देते हैं. तो ये रियली डिफिकल्ट है इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए, लेकिन करना तो चाहिए. ना करके कहाँ जाएंगे हम? दैट इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस. तो
Yes,
रियली आई गॉट इट.
wonderful. And also, what happens is when we focus on the outcome, we are thinking about what if I fail? What will people think about me? We also have that pressure, and that is a flavor that we will talk about when we are talking about fixed mindset. But here also notice, how he is not defining his success or his failure. He's not tying it to his self worth. I failed because probably I did not have the right skill sets or I did not perform, but it does not mean that I am a bad player. So you see that nuance separation is also there. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yes, Rizwana, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the outcome and then trying to just focus on how we achieve it, it doesn't make sense. It's how we take each step forward to get the outcome is what mainly matters. And I know it happens even in our personal lives. If you're giving interviews, it's not going to be the first crack that you will get a job for sure. It's like you will go for the first interview, you'll get a feedback. Okay, this is the place I'm not working well on. Then I improve on it. Then I go to the next interview. Maybe I will work on what feedback was given. I will give my best. Maybe I'll not clear the second as well. The feedback might be different, because each and every requirement has a different skill set they look for, and the way they look at the person differs. And it's the same way when we are looking at the outcome, we might be thinking only in one direction, that I have to reach there and this is the step I would follow. But when we start executing it, we'll understand, okay, this step is not working out, I have to do a plan B, plan C, plan D. And then that's where we get to know, okay, to achieve this goal, these are the first 4 steps I should never do. This is the 5th step which will help me go there. So I think it comes by experience, it comes by patience, it comes by persistence. That's what I thought I should be sharing here.
Yes, absolutely. And there's another very important aspect of growth mindset that you're talking about, because you know that achievement is about effort. It is about changing strategies. In the process, you'll realize you're very open to also seeking feedback,
Correct.
because you want to learn, you want to improve, and you will take that step to ask questions to people. How can I better this? What is it that I'm not doing right? What is it that I'm sure that I'm doing correct? So it makes you a lot more open to seeking feedback. That's a lovely, lovely share. Thank you so much. Anyone else like to share? Okay, we'll move ahead. I have 2 questions for you. Take some time to think and share. How has growth mindset benefited you in your life? It could be your personal space, your professional space. And what are some of the growth mindset beliefs that you hold? Take a moment to think, and I'd love to hear from all of you. You can think about all those times, when you had demonstrated growth mindset. What led to it? What was your thought process like?
I can answer the first question, and I
Please,
would want to think about the second question.
please go ahead.
How it has benefited me. I studied AI 6 years back, did my master's in AI. And then when AI took off, I was in better shape than those who didn't know AI. Uh, when I took AI, it was just, I was just doing it like, let me learn something. I didn't know what will be the result out of it. The second one is leadership. Because everybody was focusing on AI now, I was able to focus on leadership, and I learned leadership. So this ability to take on new dimensions, right? So from a technical individual contributor to a leader, there are many things that I've tried to juggle. I try to, dirty my hands even with entrepreneurship, and try to learn there. Very rare for somebody who is having a good career to actually try to go into entrepreneurship. I try to do that, and growth mindset has always given me the impetus to do things irrespective of how it works out.
So you're saying you are more open to learning and more adaptable.
Learning, adaptability, and as well as trying new things.
That's lovely. You have encapsulated it all very well.
Thank you.
And what enables you to try new things? What is your thought like?
I'm driven by curiosity, and very rare by fear. Very, very rare by fear. It is more of a curiosity thing. Like, I was just trying to try to learn about quantum computing, quantum physics, and all of that, which will come into the reality like 30, 40 years from now. And hmm, the it's called nascency, that is just born, right? That's something that I like a lot, to learn about things which will be actually seen in the future.
Yes, so you're driven by curiosity. That is what people with growth mindset demonstrate, because the thought process, like, let me try and see what I learn, where I go.
Yes, I don't know whether I'll be successful or not. I don't know whether it'll help me or not. I'm okay. If I think it's a waste of time after some days, it's okay. I just learned something.
Yes, that's a very good attitude to have. Thank you so much for sharing. Welcome, Roshni. Welcome. Welcome, Bhunisha.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
Um, I'm sorry, actually, this is my first session. I have joined this group, I think yesterday only. I was not aware of this. So I'm so sorry I haven't read the entire book, but I really wanted to understand what happens, and I'll be more prepared next time, definitely.
That's okay. This session will give you a very solid insight about what the book talks about.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
No,
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you so much.
good afternoon. Good. Yes, Sayali. You have raised your hand.
I have to give the answer to my second question.
Okay.
What are your growth mindset beliefs?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a, I have a growth mindset, but sometimes I do take a time to adjust with the new changes and the technology. And I am afraid to come out of my comfort zone. That is also one of the belief. I adopt the changes slowly. It's not fastly I adopt,
Mm-hmm.
but I do accept the challenging things slowly, and I'm afraid of to come out of my comfort zone. That is my growth mindset belief is. I think so.
Yeah. So you have demonstrated what is true for everybody. We all have a combination of growth mindset and fixed mindset. And being fearful is not wrong. It is your mind's way of telling you, of protecting you. You know, that should I take that step or not? And sometimes it's okay. For example, if I don't know swimming and I'm demonstrating the growth mindset that, let me learn from failure and let me directly dive into 6 feet. The failure, the cost of failing can be very high. So it is a very natural mechanism in assessing, what is right, what are the stakes, what is the cost, what is the benefit. And it is a process. And actually it is a fixed mindset belief, that if I am good enough, then this should come very easily to me. Are you seeing the difference? Growth mindset will say it is something new, it is something that I have to work towards, so it will take time. And just because it's taking time, it does not mean that I lack something, that I am not good enough.
Hmm. Yeah.
Thank you for such honest share, Sayali. Yes, Srividya, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I have quite something opposite to what Sayali had shared.
Okay.
What I believe is, which have helped me benefit my growth mindset is, I adapt to changes very easily. I'm not comfortable to stay in comfort zone. So if I realize that I'm staying in a comfort zone for too long, I make sure that I come out of it. My perspective of towards that is, I think to stay in a comfort zone, we sometimes it might reach a saturation of learning, which slows my growth process. So in order to have a better learning and a quicker learning, I just want to break that comfort zone and just come out of it. So change is very evident in my pattern. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah, please go ahead.
so, what are my growth mindset belief is this. Every time we learn something new, I believe that it always leads to, or it always helps me in some of the other area, whether it is personal or professional, anything.
Yeah, so you are learning any which way. That's the
Yeah.
thought that you have. And coming to your first share on you are quick to adapt, it's okay. Some people, maybe because of experiences, they are more quick to adapt. Others are still learning, but the point of the matter is that they are trying. They're not stopping at it. Okay, just because it takes time for me to adapt, there's something wrong with me. So maybe I shouldn't do it because it means that I'm not good enough. So paces can differ, but the point of the matter is, are we valuing, learning, improving? And that is what both of you are demonstrating. Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you.
Welcome, Shanti, to the session. Would anyone else like to share? Shivani, Akansha, Ishita, Sneha.
Hey, sorry, I'm having some difficulty um, getting connected. Bear with me, please.
Sure, sure. In the meantime, would anyone else like to share?
I just joined Aasawari. I'm hoping you are asking people to answer the questions on the screen.
Yes. Can you see two questions
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
screen? Yeah, those are the two questions that we're discussing right now.
Short answer from me. I think the whole thing about yet that Carol Dweck talks about. I don't know how to do it yet. I've not learned it yet. May not have been promoted yet. I think has really worked for me for a very long time, even before I read Carol Dweck in 2018. How? Because throughout all my report cards, whether it is school or college or all my managers and the recommendations would always say very resilient, she'll never give up, she'll fight it out till the end. I think that perception, that attitude builds is very strong.
Yes, and that has been a byproduct of how you have allowed yourself, the space and the scope to grow and to learn. Maybe you are not good at it today, but just by adding yet, you are giving yourself that room that if you want tomorrow, you can be. It's a matter of putting effort and working in that direction. Lovely. Thank you.
Aasawari, I have fixed the headphones problem. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Lovely, lovely. I can go next.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Um, I haven't read this book, but then since I was attending this session, I did watch some YouTube videos that spoke about this book. And um, while I was watching those videos and while I was reflecting on the previous slides that you were showing, that we were talking about, one thing that came constantly in my head was um, the the belief in me that feels that something, the me, the Ishita that is not supporting me, my growth anymore, and where I want to reach anymore. I don't mind shedding that Ishita, that those habits, those characteristics. And this actually happened, this actually brought a beautiful reflection in me that throughout the my as I grow, I have changed a lot. I mean, my old friends do look at me and say, "Oh my God, the way you are, the way you are carrying yourself, the way you're talking has changed a lot from what we know you from." Um, I still take this as a compliment because yes, this is what life teaches you, that you move on, what is not supporting you, what is not adding to your growth, shred it, move on, and that's okay. You don't have to cry. You enjoyed that past or that part of you at one point in time, but now it's a new you. Enjoy this too. And yeah, this is something that during this session I was thinking about too.
Yes, and the very fact that you were able to change was because you wanted to change. You believed that you could do it. You did not see yourself as a fixed identity, that this is the Ishita, and you always have to cater to the Ishita that you always have been.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
being that version of yourself also told you, right, through life, through experiences, what is working, what is not working. And based on that, you decided to change the way you operate, the way you work, or your strategies. That's
Yeah, and
lovely.
that brings this beautiful level of flexibility in you. And
Right.
that's amazing to experience, honestly.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's move ahead. I'll ask another question to you. Have there been instances when growth mindset has not supported you? Think about it.
Yes, for me, as I told, I adapt to change quickly. There
Mhm.
are times where, not personal, Yeah, personal also and professional also, where I have to stay calm and stagnant. Uh, so that I get to adapt to things and then I move on. So there are places where it had stopped me. No, you can't change at this time of moment, kind of.
Would you like to elaborate a little more? That is, if you're
Um,
able.
yeah. So I'll bring up some professional sequence, maybe. So I'm a person who keeps learning everything new. So I keep changing. I am within same, what is it, corporate company, but I like to move on with different types of people and different types of teams I have worked in. So I was forced to stay in a particular team because I had a dependency, technology dependency, and that kept me like, okay, so not every time it's about me. Sometimes it's about the work too that I have to care about. So now is not the right time to change or switch teams. So I wanted to switch team because my aspiration got diverted and then it got expanded, I would say. So due to that reason I had to I had planned to switch, but um, I decided to stay because of uh, work dependency. So this is one of the sequence where it happened. I felt like maybe not every time change is good.
And that's okay. That does not mean that you always have to be adaptable.
Yeah, true.
Again, we have to evaluate the situation.
Hmm.
And the decision that we take is also a part of growth mindset, because then again, you're getting into the trap of I am adaptable, which means
Hmm.
irrespective of the situation, I always have to be adaptable, because then it means I have growth mindset. No,
Hmm.
it's not fixed. It's about moving, it's about building, it's about becoming, it's about taking. I'll give you an example. Generally, people who say they have growth mindset will say things like, I can do anything. But it's not about that. It's about being cognizant of whether you have your skills, whether you have resources, whether the situation support you. So that decision making, and not it is not a state of being, it is a state of becoming. So those factors have to be considered. And that is what growth mindset is. Just because you think you are adaptable does not mean you always need to be adaptable. Because sometimes not adapting would probably be the right thing to do.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, if my memory serves me right, we'll go in this order of Sayali, Ishita, and Shanti, because that is how they raise their hands. So we'll start with Sayali.
Okay, actually, Ishita ma'am's turn was there. I was the second one.
Don't worry,
Uh,
please go ahead.
yeah, actually, growth mindset has not supported me when the things are in my control, I can manage everything. That I have a confidence. But when the things are on other side, where you don't have a control. So at that time, in life, I was depressed, and but then also, I have not lose myself. I have created a new Siley. I have learned. I moved on. I have changed myself because I can't change the front person. I can't change
Hmm.
company, the MD, boss, colleague, situations, money, family problems. So whatever in growth mindset, whatever in is in my hand now, that I have taken care of. That is sure. And whatever is not in my hand now, then I left it there only, and I have changed myself. This is I know about growth mindset. I can justify myself on this question. Yes.
And actually, she also talks about this aspect in the book, growth mindset. Often
Oh.
we think we have growth mindset, and in relationships, we think anything is possible, so I can change the other person. The other person will change only if they want to change. And so it's not, so it is about building your just because others did not turn out to be the way you wanted them to be, or they didn't do the things that they you wanted them to do, that does not mean that you lack ability. It is because they didn't want to do it, and it's not an indication of who you are. So you don't have to derive your self-worth on what they did or what they didn't, because that is something that you anyway cannot control. Yeah, makes sense. Wonderful, thank you so much, Sayali. Yes, Ishita.
But places where growth mindset, or a place where growth mindset has not supported me, is especially the areas where, because of growth mindset, I would have raised my standards or bars so high. Now it is difficult for me to match those standards and bars. And now there are times when you have to consciously protect yourself from getting into the loop of perfectionism. That perfectionism will come, but the things have to start somewhere. If I wait for the perfection, probably I may not reach, I may not even start. And that is where this growth mindset also, I mean, it's a very conscious effort that I try to make for my own self, that yes, let me get started. The growth mindset will keep working, doing its job in my head, but then I will not set a bar for me. It's okay. It's okay to fail sometimes, and I have my own learnings. Uh, but the only thing that I will do with the growth mindset is, the mistake I did today will not be the same mistake tomorrow. I will make a new one. So yeah, this is what I have noticed with the growth mindset.
And what you spoke about, setting standards too high that you yourself find difficult to achieve, it is actually not growth mindset. It is a false growth mindset. And that is what is also been spoken about in the book. I can do anything. I can build a space rocket. But okay, I need to ask myself, do I have those skill sets? Do I have the resources to support me? Do I have those capabilities? So it does not mean I can do anything. It has to be based on reality, and it is about growth mindset is about challenging yourself, but it is not about making something so unachievable and so unreal that you end up feeling that I'm good for nothing. You also have to be realistic in your goals and the challenges that you set for yourself.
Reminds me of no BHAG, but a smart goal.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you so much, Ishita. Yes, Shanti.
One thing I'd like to add for Ishita before I move on. What I remember is what Ishita mentioned, that I've set my bar so high, as you rightly said, Aasawari, that Carol Dweck calls it as false growth mindset. But the whole thing about, I will make a new mistake, I won't repeat the mistake, I'm continuing to grow. In fact, she advises against the perfection. If she says, if
Yeah.
you believe you have arrived perfection, that is definitely not growth mindset. So it's not about being perfect every single time. It's about, what am I learning every single time? So if that's the new you, Ishita, you definitely have growth mindset. Yeah. So now to answer the question, an instance that still haunts me is belief that everybody else will learn and grow, and because of that belief, I continue to put up with a lot of poor performers, and then it becomes very difficult for me, and I put up with them for a very long time. I've told myself to hold back, that, after some time, third, fourth, fifth failure, stop, give them a warning, but I don't think I do that stuff.
Yes, and this is what she talks about also, because we think that if I am good, if I have the ability in me, just it does not mean that I can be friends with everybody. I can be compatible with everybody. I can marry everybody. Everybody is compatible with me. No, there are some realities, and the idea is to focus on what you can change. Thank you for that share. Yes, Ali, did you raise your hand once again?
Yes, one more thing is that you have said the compatible word now. That is really true, huh? Even in growth mindset, even in growth mindset, your mental health, your mental peace is also important. And second point is if today, if I'm not, I'm getting any problem or I'm unable to do the thing or I'm stuck somewhere, but after 1 year, na, if you look at that प्रॉब्लम कि अरे बाबा मैं 1 साल पहले ऐसे सिचुएशन में अटकी थी नाउ इफ आई सी इट ना then you will feel very it's small piece of problem, you know, that is also I have observed in my life. I have struggled a lot for my website, you know. I am giving you the example that one person has really deceived me. He had taken so much of money and my website was, crumbled down. And today, now, the situation is changed. Now I have designed my website myself and I have published also. So before 1 year, 1.5 year, it was very difficult. I was trapped. I was deceived. But now I kept it mind. No, I have to design the website. No, I have to design the website. Now, last week, I have designed and I have published. So, see, sometimes even time gives the answer of your hardship, your smart work, your one step towards, whatever your goals. Na, sometimes really time give you the answer.
Right. And just a heads up for everybody, growth mindset does not mean that you'll never be happy. Sorry, that you'll never be sad. You will never be disappointed. You will never feel those unpleasant emotions. You will, but the point is you will not stop at it and you will not let it define who you are. You will persist. You will become more resilient. Yeah. And that is what all of you have been also talking about. I just wanted to highlight it. Let me just see if there are more hands raised. Okay. Let's move ahead then. We have spoken about growth mindset. So now I'm sure you can already start drawing comparisons and parallels with what fixed mindset would look like, what it would mean. So, fixed mindset, it is the belief that our abilities, our intelligence, these are inherent traits that are static, that cannot be changed. And these are natural gifts. So, it is something that you have or something you don't. So, there is no scope of building, developing, becoming. You are. You are or you are not. You have or you do not. And also, you'll notice this when you have fixed mindset, your ability and identity, they are very closely tied to each other. You'll find people saying like, I am intelligent because I got the promotion. So what I did and who I am, they are intertwined. So everything, start feeling like a test of your worth, test of your abilities. You constantly feel judged, you constantly feel that you're evaluated, you constantly feel this urge and this need to prove that I am the smart one, I am the best, I am the most intelligent person. And all of this is happening because of two things. A, you believe that abilities are fixed, so there is no way that I can develop it. And B, as a result of that, your identity has become tied to it. Yeah. So you'll see that the people with growth mindset, they have this desire to look smart, to demonstrate intelligence, to show that I am the intelligent one. And of course, then there is this constant desire to prove your ability, because then it means how good I am. And then of course, when something is in limited quantity, when we feel something is static, a natural instinct is to protect that, because there is no scope of developing and becoming. It is a state of being. And these people will focus a lot on, they will focus on achieving the outcome, because that becomes a measure of their worth, that becomes a measure of how good they are or they are not. So they'll not focus on the think about, success can also mean about learning and improvement. It is whether I got that top class result or not. Success is evidence of ability. Failure is a verdict that they lack, they are not good enough. And people with fixed mindset, they see effort it as not a good thing, and they see it as fruitless. So they see it as worse or not a good thing because their thought process is like, since ability is something I have and it defines who I am, so if I'm good enough, I should have gotten this easily. No, the very fact that I have to put effort in this means that I'm not good enough. And they consider it fruitless again because ability is something you have or you don't. So you cannot develop it. So why even put effort in that direction? Right? So there are some examples of fixed mindset like, I didn't get it right the first time, I will never get it. Yeah? Why do you think this is an example of fixed mindset?
If we notice,
that-
sorry,
Go
should
ahead,
I
go
go
ahead.
ahead? Yeah. So if we have been watching the recent times, we have been hearing the students or the current generation, you know, if they fail in the exam, they think they will never get through it. It's a loss. It's a shame. This tendency of suicide has increased. It shows that this person has the thought that this is the first time I didn't get it, I will never get it. So it's no worth of me being alive. This is one example I thought should be putting through that a fixed mindset, person carries.
Yes.
That's a thought.
Yes, that is definitely one of the fatal consequences of
Yeah.
thinking along these lines. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Rizwana. Yes, Shanti, you were saying? Were you saying something?
Yeah.
Okay, please go
I
ahead.
forgot what I was.
Okay,
trying
I'll
to-
just ask, why do you think this is an example of fixed mindset?
Um, basically believing that nothing will change, nothing will evolve, nothing will grow.
Right.
So if I fail, it means I can't improve. That's the belief which is fixed.
Yes, because abilities aren't something that can be developed as per this mindset. Absolutely. Next example, I can't handle criticism because it just means I am not good enough.
Not open to feedback. You say anything, they feel, okay, I'm not good, I can't do anything, and they leave it there. That's it. They'll not try again.
They are not able to separate themselves from the work that they do. And they think if a mistake is being pointed out, it means that there's something wrong with me, I am not good, I am not capable. Yes. Yes, Akansha.
About this criticism aspect, it's also being in a position where you're making fun of yourself. That yes, I don't understand it. It's way beyond me. Saying things like that. So there also you are kind of in a fixed mindset already. Whether somebody is
Yes.
giving you criticism or not, but you've given up. That this is what it is. For example,
Yes.
many people
Mhm.
say, I don't understand numbers. I don't understand maths. Gone. They've already given up. They've decided that this is what it is.
Yeah, there can be different ways of different emotions and responses that we have. But what defines whether it is a growth mindset or fixed mindset is what we do after it.
After that. True.
If we just take it as a verdict, full stop, nothing can change now, then it's fixed mindset. But if I say that yes, it cannot change yet, but then I evaluate, do I need to put effort in this direction? Then that is growth mindset. Everything that can be changed does not have to be changed.
It also, I think, depends on the kind of environment the person is in.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I've like from my from my work in the education sector, I've seen kids who were probably kids. When I say kids, I mean class 9 and 10, so teenagers, not kids. Where they've gone from, let's say, 8 out of 100 to 80, 82 out of 100 is the same person who's gone
Right.
from that 8 to that 82.
Mhm.
It's only when they were at that 8, they believed that they are dumb. Their words, not mine. That they are dumb and maths is not their cup of tea. But I think if a person has the right kind of environment, it helps them develop the mindset as well.
Absolutely. And all these mindsets, it has our roots in our experiences, in our childhood, the way we have been criticized, the way we have been praised. Oh, you are so smart, you were able to solve these questions without making any mistakes. Now, what is the message I have taken? I am smart if I don't make
Don't make
mistakes.
mistakes.
Now, every time I'll make a mistake, every time I'll fear making a mistake now. Because what does that mean? That I'm not smart. So
Yeah.
these have our roots in our experiences, our environment, how we have been shaped up. Absolutely. Thank you, Akansha. Yes, Ishita.
Well, I wanted to share something on the similar lines what you both spoke about. Um, I remember my father taking me to bank so that I can understand how to open my account, take care of my account details while I was growing up. I wasn't 18 by then, but then my father used to still take me. And I could see that strictness in him, which made me hate banks forever. Like you mentioned, that it also depends upon the environment that we have been exposed to while growing up and on. Now, while thinking of that, I was also thinking, and what Akansha mentioned, that early teens, how they how they navigate from one stage or one place to another. I was also curious to know, based on the conversation I had with teens or the children of early teens, as well as very young children, which is one of them is my daughter too, and her friends are like my friends itself. But based on that, um, the, I should not be quoting it. Please don't quote me for this. But then I've noticed that growth mindset or the resilience to learn, to keep growing, is higher in either very small children or it's higher as you grow. I have also noticed, I may be very, very biased here, but then I've noticed many women, maybe it's how we are brought up, many women have this growth mindset for many of the things, not for everything, but then for many things in life by birth, not by birth, but then inculcated in them, like it's runs in their blood. Um, am I going somewhere absolutely in the wrong direction? Let me know.
No, I was just thinking about it. Irrespective of whether it is a generalization or not, probably very young children, they s- they are still getting exposed to how the world operates, so they don't themselves come with their dictionary of meanings, what good means, what bad means, what success means, what failure means. It is over a period of time that they are imbibing these messages and attaching meanings. And I think what happens with adults is that, so you're a kid, then you go through this whole phase, where you are struggling and you're demonstrating fixed mindset. But those experiences after a while teach you, like how you said, right, that I used to be a certain way, but now life experiences taught me that some things work and some things don't work. So when you grow up and you have that rationality, probably you're more able to be logical and make sense of, is it really true that if I make fewer mistakes, that's the only way in which I'm smart? You start questioning these things, is it, am I not smart if I'm asking too many questions? Is that really true? And that comes with experience. You're absorbing meaning, then you're experiencing, and then you're forming your own meaning. You've started questioning. I think that is the journey.
Thank you. That was a lovely answer, Asami.
Thank you, Ishita. Yes, Akansha, Srividya, and Rizwana. We'll go in that order.
Just based on what Ishita said about the bank thing, so it just took me back to when my father would take me to the bank once or twice, and then post that he would just hand me a check and say that you can go to the bank, withdraw this much cash. And I used to say that no, I can't do it alone. What if something happens? Somebody snatches the money or something. He's like, no, I completely believe in you. You will be able to handle it. And I used to go to banks so often that I absolutely love banks. I absolutely love doing bank work. So I think somewhere the kind of environment that was there changed our perception towards the same bank. The bank did not do anything. The bank did not do anything to Ishita, nor did the bank do anything to me. But the way the scenario was presented to the two people changed how
You
something is being viewed
adapt
by the other person.
to that experience. Absolutely. And it is also a question, it is a question of experience. It is also a matter of some of your own interests. So
Yeah,
all those factors also have to be, taken into account.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So glad these days banks do not ask you to come anymore. They just say do it online or over a call.
Yes. Yes. Srividya and Rizwana. We will go with Srividya first.
Um, so this statement reminds me of when we were not able to accept if anything goes wrong, although it was because of ourselves. Mostly the statement were being used during my childhood days. So it is like an sometimes you have the surrounding people pressure put on you. They start expecting things. So if something goes wrong, so it means that you are not the achiever kind of. So
Yeah.
one instance is that which led me to believe the statement during my childhood days is that so I was a top performer, and there was an instance where because X or Y reasons I had come down few ranks below, and then my teacher asked me that so did you lose the interest? So that was a question that came up. So rather asking what happened or what went wrong, so this was kind of a statement. It was not like a question, it was like a statement that was put up. So after that, the way they portrayed were like, so if you do any mistake, you're a top performer. You're not expected to do any mistake. If at all you do any mistake, so this is what you are going to be labeled as. So that thought settled deep down, and whenever some criticism comes up, we cannot accept it at all, because we think that this is not we are not supposed to do this, is how we were taught. So
Yes.
yeah.
And in such cases, criticism, it takes a hit of at your self-worth.
Yes.
And all of us want to feel good about ourselves. We don't want to feel bad. And that is why we go into the denial mode.
Yes.
Because nobody probably asked us, okay, this is what you scored, this is how you scored, what was the process you followed, what strategies did you use, what worked for you, what did not work for you. It was always about the outcome. And even when you succeed,
Mm.
you were never asked about the process. What is it that you did? Oh, you are very good because you topped the class. Oh, you're excellent. You got 100 on 100. And then it leads to the cycle of belief that it does, and it has consequences in terms of denial and becoming very sensitive to such criticism. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Srividya. Yes, Rizwana.
Yeah, I think it's in the same lines like others have spoken about. So it's like a few years before when I was doing my intermediate, I wanted to be a doctor. But again, self criticism that I was doing. I want to be a doctor, but I can't handle physics, and I can't it's not my cup of tea. And I self-criticize. I can't handle it. I can't do it. I know everything, but I can't do it. I can't do it. And that's how it ended up me failing for the first time in the first year. And it demotivated me, and I started self I can never crack through physics is what I always carried in my mind. But in the second year, it's the same thing I had to run through, but I know I can pass. So I just got the passing marks so that I don't continue in the medical field, because I know physics will remain there. But I know that I had that capability, but I am criticizing myself that I can't handle it. I can't take it forward. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I left it there and started taking up commerce, and I started doing very well and handled it in a different way. Here, it's like, I gave up completely. It was me who criticized myself and who didn't take myself forward in that direction where, I wanted to be. But now when I sit back and think through, I should have tried. I should have tried. I should have looked at it in a different way. I always think about it that, it was just one more step. Maybe I would have forced myself to take it forward. I know I can do it. I would have done something different. But now the time has passed. I can't do anything about it. But that's how it was my experience about.
Yeah. Yeah, because we added that sense of finality that I can never understand physics. And
Correct.
probably using the yet technique, I cannot understand physics yet, and then choosing whether I want to pursue physics or not.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rizwana. We'll move ahead. Now, they were just lucky is also something that you will find people with fixed mindset saying very often. Yeah, because their success means that I am not worthy because my abilities are fixed. So let me attribute it to a factor that cannot be controlled at all. Instead of going and asking them, okay, what is it that you did? What is it that worked for you? And trying to understand how I can apply it in my own life and in my own journey. Yeah. Would anyone like to share any thoughts on this?
It could
When I
also mean they got it easy. They did not have to put in effort. And if you're putting in effort, means you are not intelligent enough, smart enough, fast enough, whatever,
Absolutely.
good enough.
That could also be a way of looking at it. But in either cases, it is stopping you from believing that you can also develop those abilities. To what extent, as good as them, more than them, less than them, we don't know. But we are not even we're not even starting to try. That is the message that we are giving ourselves. Absolutely.
just looking at the sentence, there were two words which came up very quickly,
Mhm.
which is denial and ego.
Right.
Yeah,
I have to protect my self worth, my identity, no?
yeah.
I have to attribute their success to something.
Right. Just in my personal experience, when I was just stepping up into my first promotion, I had a whole group who joined along with me, and we were a group of friends who used to, be together, give any assessments or anything together. And all of them went through the assessment process, and from that whole group it was only me who got cleared and moved ahead. And the first thing, you're a favorite of theirs, all the leaderships loves you, so that is common. We expected you would clear. That was the first thing they gave. They haven't seen one thing is that all 15 to 20 days I used to spend nights preparing for myself for that assessment, because it was all arithmetics that they had in the assessment clearance, that they had the questionnaire. And when they said that, I was like, "Oh, what is this?" I think that was the first experience I felt like, okay, these people will never accept if you work hard. It will only be the criticism that you would get from them, that you're lucky, that you're their favorite.
Right. Absolutely. You're spot on. It brings down a lot of memories for me also, which are along similar
And like
lines.
most of us can relate to this, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes I think, just thinking about college days where if you get more marks or something like that, what used to happen was you don't help us, you don't want us to get good marks. Like how how is that, how does that, in which world does that work? That, I am not helping you, I am stopping you somehow from getting good marks is something also that I have heard. Just relating to Rizwana here, where people are attributing that you're the favorite and everything, but people are also attributing their failure to you somehow, in whichever way possible it could be. They're just attributing their failure to you, that you
Such
are the reason for it.
because such people's confidence would actually be crumbled if they attributed that failure to themselves, because they don't think they can learn and improve, right? They're the smart ones.
True.
Yeah. So we have so far covered what is growth mindset, what is it about, how does it lead us to interpret different situations, what is fixed mindset. Now we move to understanding what does fixed mindset triggers. So these are situations, that shift your mindset away from thinking that abilities can be developed, they can be improved, to thinking that they are static, they are fixed, they are predetermined. And what do these triggers, these situations look like? So we'll go through them one by one. So Dweck says it could be a challenge. The moment there is a situation, that is beyond your current set of skills or abilities or knowledge, it evokes you in you a thought that, okay, what if I fail? Will people know that I'm incompetent? Will they think that I'm any less? So you avoid challenges. Then there is setbacks, which is about facing difficulties and obstacles, in once you have started a task. For example, you didn't get that promotion, your proposal got rejected, and your response is, I am not good enough, I don't have it in me, I'm not carved out for this, I don't have what it takes to be a certain way, to be in a certain place. That is what setbacks mean. Hard work, of course, which I'll reiterate that, if I'm good enough, if I'm good at something, I don't have to put in so much effort. And if I have to put effort, it means that I'm not good enough. So let me not try. Critique, as we saw, it is not taken as data or information, to improve ourselves, but a judgment of who we are. And the last one is success of others. Our worth depends upon what others do. So if somebody else fails, it gives me a boost that, I'm better than them, I can do this, I can achieve that. But if somebody achieves something more than me, then it bogs me down. It makes me feel disappointed and low, and it makes me feel incapacitated. So are these triggers clear? Are there any questions? No? Okay, I'll move ahead then. Now the question is, how do we move from fixed mindset to growth mindset? And she's talked about certain steps that we need to follow. So the first one is embrace your fixed mindset. Acknowledge that all of us, we have fixed mindset that shows up in different situations. And that's all right. Acceptance is important. Then identify what your fixed mindset triggers are. The 5 triggers that we saw: challenges, setback, hard work, critique, and success of others. And then think about it, what do these triggers make you think? How does it make you feel? What do you end up doing? And then she says, give your fixed mindset trigger a name, because that will help you in becoming more objective and separating all of that from yourself. It will create a distance between you and your thoughts and allow you to have a more objective outlook. And the last one is talk to it with a growth mindset voice. Yeah, do these steps make sense? Are they clear? So now I'll invite all of you to take 5 minutes and apply these steps individually for yourself. Reflect on these. Yeah, we are good to go? Sure. It's 4:22. At 4:27, let's start sharing what we have thought, what we have written, what we have reflected upon. Yes, Sayali. Yes, Sayali.
The trigger emotions is setbacks.
Okay.
Okay. Setbacks really make me to backward. It sometimes I do take a time. I take a pause. I think on it. Then I decide what I have to do, and then I accept the growth mindset voice. I learn something. Yeah, I update myself. Yeah, even sometimes I do take help of any mentor or any friend who will help me to come out of that setback or whatever the problem is. So I always keep trying that I and setback is more trigger to me than critique, hard work, challenges, success of
Sure.
others.
Different things can trigger different people. Not all 5 need to be your trigger. Maybe it's 1, it's 2, it's 3. Thank you for sharing that, Sally. Would that be okay if we take it up after everybody has
Yeah.
reflected so that they can also contribute to the discussion? Yeah. Thank you. We have a minute more. Yes. Are all of us done? See a thumbs up. Yeah, if you are done, just give a thumbs up. See one more. Let's talk about it. So Sayali was talking about her trigger being setback, right? And for those who have probably missed what she heard, what she was saying, Sayali, do you mind repeating what you said?
My trigger is setback. Sometimes, I get failure and I may get depressed. The time I give time to myself, I think what to do, what are the ways that we can work it out. Even I do talk with friends, mentor, any other person who is very good in that field. Then I do take a decision or I change the way of working, whatever is. So this is the way, but setback really hurts me a lot.
Yeah, and what would your growth mindset voice tell it?
That you have to come across with this setback, you have to solve that problem. There is something solution, you have to check out that solution. That growth mindset I have. I always, even if there is any person with me, even in my work, I really feel good. I do share whatever I'm facing with that friend or mentor or the partner. So I always keep my signals open. So you will get any data, any information, any insights, even this session. To attend this session is also to go towards the growth mindset. So such type of things will really help you.
Yes, and also, you could tell yourself that, okay, I know things don't go as per plan. I know that is there, but let me see what worked. What could I have done differently to avoid it? Now that it has happened, what can I do further ahead to, move ahead to find a solution? Yeah. Yeah. And what name did you give your fixed mindset trigger?
No, I had not given any name. I have just find out my trigger. Name means different that setback.
Name as in your name, like Sayali, Shivani, like that. Like an identity, like that. So all of you who who will be sharing, please also give your fixed mindset trigger a name. Like mine, I named mine Cherry. I don't know why, but I just named it Cherry.
I will give transformation.
Transformation, lovely. Wonderful. Who would like to go next? Share what they
I
came
can
up
go
with.
next.
Who's this? Is that Ishita?
Ishita, yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. The one mindset that works like a trigger to me is when I meet some people who have exploited my goodness when I was a little girl. I mean, my innocence as a child, and looking at them, sometimes talking to them, actually um, triggers the fixed mindset that I am not worth, I'm not good, I'm this, I'm that. Uh, well, happy to say that I have controlled that. That's not my problem. That's their problem. What the type of mindset they have, and probably that's what they could give to me as someone who is elder to me. And the name that I give to that trigger is Chotu. It's okay. It's okay to be fooled by some people because you were young, you were a child, and they decided to use your not awareness of the world or unawareness of the world, how the world works, in a not a very good way. But that's okay.
Mhm.
Now I know.
And yeah, and to that you can also, add that I know it hurt. I know it was not easy, but that also allowed me in having judgment of, who are the right people, who are not.
Mm.
And
Yeah, that's right. Now I have a better judgment of those people. Yes. Yeah.
right.
With that, can I share one small example? Um, so it's about a family member. I
Mhm.
really love the way they reframe a few things. So there are days when after finishing work, I will have really exhausted brain who cannot take a child's tantrums. And of course, the conversation which stays playful with my daughter after work, on those days, the conversation goes little bit not very playful. Yeah. And there's this person who has been uh, pointing this out, but in a very laughable manner. And I love the way he does it. So he uses we are Bengali, so he uses the word kak kak, which means, which also mean that like how the dogs and cats or the animals will make sounds looking at each other. You both are doing the same thing. You are after each other's life, and that makes me really laugh. Uh, and that is like a although he's pointing out something, not a very pleasant behavior in me, but it do not make me defensive. It also brings that smile, and eventually I move on from having a difficult day to it's okay, now the day is over. I am with my family, back with my family. So also wanted to share a thought like that. It could be my growth mindset, could be that I'm reading that statement like in a very positive way, and it could be something else. But yeah, just wanted to share. I don't know, maybe sharing that example uh, had me connect with this example too.
Maybe it's just humor that you needed, to diffuse that endless loop of negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Rizwana.
So, the trigger I had is the one, when somebody asks something during a discussion or a meeting or something, I don't know what to answer sometimes, That makes me feel like, okay, I don't know. I don't know this. I should have known about it before itself. it creates me anxious. It makes me insecure, that maybe me not knowing gives them an impression that she's not fit for the role. Kind of a thought starts triggering in my mind, and I then say, okay, I'm not good enough for this role. I don't know this. I should have known about it and all. So I named myself for this as Fear Factory. Always fearing, something wrong will happen. But how do I deal with it? It's okay. Now I don't know. Maybe I will learn and I will get there. Right now I don't know that. I don't have that information. Maybe I can explore more and get to know it. Maybe I will know more than what I would have known when they asked the question. So that's how maybe I'll handle it.
Yeah, so in your case, the fear factory, the challenge seems to be your trigger when there's a situation, that you think is beyond your current set of knowledge and resources. And when you're talking to it with the growth mindset voice, you can tell yourself that I know I know I don't know it all yet, and acknowledge that you are somebody who likes to be prepared, who's probably not very comfortable with uncertainty yet. So let me do the preparation part that will give me a bit of confidence to be a part in that meeting, and everything else I'll gather information later on. So it is not, so it is ensuring that you don't walk into that room completely unaware. You prepare for the things that you think you can, and everything else you can follow up later and know later. Does that make sense, Rizwana?
Yes, it does.
Yes, Akansha.
So, my mindset, the fixed mindset, is a little different than whatever has been shared till now. I have developed this mindset that there are certain kinds of food, if I eat it, I'll fall sick. I have invariably developed that mindset. And I don't really know how to deal with it. And I think the name that I have given to my mindset, that particular fixed mindset, is delicate darling. Always trying to gain attention. Yeah, so I don't really know how to deal with it, but feels good to acknowledge it. Yeah, okay, it is definitely there.
And probably I think you have had a certain type of food, and did you fall extremely sick or you had a very unpleasant experience? I think that memory is so strong in your mind that now it stops you from having that thing. And it's okay, because it's okay if you don't have all types of food. I had that, and I picked it up from my mother, because whenever she had sugarcane juice, she ended up having jaundice. Then, of course, the kids also can't have sugarcane juice, because sugarcane juice everywhere means that you will end up having jaundice. And I didn't have it for the longest time. But then I grew up and I was in a park with my brother, and he said, "Do you want to have sugarcane juice?" And I just saw, the machine looked very clean. And I saw his confidence. He keeps on saying, every weekend I have weekend with sugarcane juice, this and that. So I was like, okay, I mean, we are kids of the same mother. If he's okay, I'll also be okay. And that's how, but I still think twice before having sugarcane juice. And it's okay. It's
I
not that I'm
think
losing out on a lot if I'm not having that sugarcane juice.
I think it like you said, right? We project our fears on our kids as well.
Yes.
Like the way your mom projected that fear on you. So I've seen people being very afraid of lizards, like extremely afraid of lizards, where if the lizard is in a room, they will not even enter that room. They're that afraid of lizards, and I've seen it very commonly. And I have noticed that if the mother is afraid, the child is automatically becoming afraid of it.
And that is how,
Somehow,
yeah.
somehow we are imparting that.
Yeah, and
Like,
that is how mindsets work.
yes, the
They,
way your
yeah.
mom had it for that, okay, if you have sugarcane juice, you'll end up with jaundice because It has happened to me. So same way, my mom is like, no, if you eat all this, you're going to fall sick because I fall sick, so you'll also fall sick. We have the same body type. So she's discovered that we have the same body type, so you're also going to fall sick.
Yeah. And that is how even mindsets work, you know. Nobody told us that you have growth mindset. We don't even think like that. Oh, my abilities are fixed. Oh, my abilities can be developed. It's messages that we have deciphered from our experiences. So, and it does get passed on from, one generation to another.
And it's yes, generation definitely, but it's also about if you're living with the same kind of person. I've seen if the husband is afraid of the lizard, the wife who was not afraid ultimately ends up being afraid for no reason. All her life she spent where she was not afraid of the lizard. But now the lizard has, somehow become a dinosaurus. It's not a lizard anymore. It has turned into a dinosaurus, and now they are both afraid of the lizard.
Absolutely. It is the environment that live in will shape how we think, what we believe, and what we are passing on to, the next generation. It is about the environment because those environment have meaning messages, and we are deciphering meaning from those messages. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Akansha. Would love to hear from Shivani, JV, Yasha. What are your thoughts? Oh, is my screen not visible? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a black.
It's not black.
It's gone black. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll it's also very, curiously listening to all our stories.
Can I share something based on what you and Akansha were talking about?
Yes, Ishita.
I somehow feel that it can either go this way, that one person influences the other to, especially when, even in a family setup. There's a word to it. I can't recall that word, but then there is a study of this. So either it can go like this, that if a mother is scared, the child will get scared too. And it can also go the other way around. If a is scared, um, she will do everything so that the child does not be as scared as she is. Uh, Plus, in a family setup, in a relationship setup, you know, close relationship setup, often it happens if one person takes the role of somebody who gets scared of this, the other person will take a role of somebody who is really the one at it. This happens when there are multiple children in a household too. That one gets scared, the other one tries to pacify that, okay, if one is mama's sweetie pie, the other one will be like the strong go-getter. They do not compete for the role which has already been taken.
Yes. So a lot of these aspects, your fears, they also get transferred in this way, and so does, mindset. I am bringing it back to mindset because this is what today's session is about. But a lot of what you're saying, a lot of the way we think, act, respond to, it is because of our environment and what meanings we are attaching to it. Yeah. Can you all let me know if you can see my screen now?
Yeah, visible.
Visible?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so with that, we come to the last concept, which is the false growth mindset, which we have touched upon in the beginning of the session. And this is a concept that Dweck actually had to add in a book because she realized that a lot of people are misunderstanding what growth mindset means and misapplying it, misusing it. So that is why this term false growth mindset was mentioned. So false growth mindset is saying that you have growth mindset when you don't really have it or you don't really understand what it is. And what this looks like is, so there are 4 aspects to it. So we'll take it one by one. So remember we said in growth mindset and even in the video that we watched that focus on the process, but people started limiting process only to effort. But in reality, it is not only about effort, because you can be doing the same thing 10 times and people can still say, that you have put in so much effort. But that is not what process is about. It is about adopting new strategies, seeking inputs from others to understand how can you do it differently, what is working, what is not working. So there are three components to process. The second aspect of false growth mindset was only the process was being appreciated and outcomes were being disregarded. And she says that is not to be done. You appreciate the process, but outcome also have to be considered, because outcomes indicate, whether there was learning, whether there was improvement, whether there was achievement. So consider both. Yes, the third aspect, I think we have spoken about it enough, that you can do anything, but you can do anything provided you have the skills and resources to make that progress. And the last one is what she realized was people started equating positive traits, like I'm open minded, I'm very flexible, I'm very adaptable, to having a growth mindset. But growth mindset, but these are two different things. Growth mindset means whether you believe that your abilities can be cultivated, and you are dedicated towards, building your talent and cultivating your intelligence and your abilities. Yes. Does anyone have any questions?
Just an observation I wanted to call out. Several organizations also misrepresent what growth mindset is. They talk about growth mindset as setting bigger targets, achieving more every quarter, every month. It becomes about growing rather than building capability and continuous learning. It becomes about achieving targets and metrics and numbers. So instead of growth mindset, it becomes all about growth. That creates a lot of false growth mindset that we are achieving, we are growing, so we have growth mindset.
Right. This is actually a problem in organizations, probably because the leaders themselves have fixed mindset. They themselves believe, that talent is limited. So they're not focused. So they want to hire the smart ones, the superstars, the stars. But a leader with growth mindset will say that, leadership itself is something that is developed. And they will have belief in the potential of others, and they'll create environments where they would want to develop the capabilities of others. And that is what I think is a miss, which you have beautifully pointed out.
Yeah. One small thing where leaders miss, either they're too appreciative of everything, so even mistakes are not called out and feedback is not given, with the false hope that we are all growth mindset, we will not call out mistakes and everything will resolve itself. Or the other thing, if something fails, then I will put you on a PIP, I will show you the way out, you're not worth staying in my team, in my organization. So either extremes really doesn't map to growth mindset.
I'm a good leader, if I don't pinpoint mistakes.
Yeah.
And if I take the mistake upon myself, then it means that I am not a capable leader. So let me blame you for it. That is how it is playing. Yeah. Anyone else would like?
I think those insecurities are very visible. No matter how intelligently you try to portray that, no, this is not what I meant, or things like that. But if your leader has that kind of mindset, eventually it'll, the facade that you're maintaining is going to fall through. And it is going to show. One day your team will definitely see the real you.
Absolutely. It cannot be hidden. Either of it cannot be hidden.
Yeah.
It will see the light of the day someday. Sure. Yes. Okay. So this is one last reflection for all of you. Spot and shift the false growth mindset in your journey, in your life. So in the last 6 months, identify moments where false growth mindset showed up, where probably only process was praised, process only was equated to effort, just having positive traits, positivity was equated to having, growth mindset, and all those 4 things that we discussed. And for each of those moments where false growth mindset showed up. Just think about what would true growth mindset version actually look like. Is it clear what I said?
I understood the activity,
Mhm.
but could you please go back to the different
Yes.
aspects of it so that,
Yes, absolutely. Take 3 minutes to think and then let's share. Akansha has something to share. Yeah. A minute more and then we'll share. Shri Vidya, I see you have reacted with a cup of tea. Are you having one? Am I audible, Shri Vidya?
it means I'm away.
Oh, well, I learned a little something here today.
I also was not aware. I read what it meant in the reactions. So, what does it mean?
Nice. Would like to share? Yes, Akansha.
So, I think I sometimes fall into the trap of you can do anything mindset.
High five on that.
So, when there are these video games, if anyone has ever played a video game, so there are this finite amount of energy with a star or something, they'll mark that, the energy bar that you have. So, same way, as a human, you have that finite amount of energy. And even though time is a very democratic resource, but still, time is also finite in a day. Yes, it is 24 hours for everybody, but it is 24 hours. So I think I sometimes forget that it is 24 hours and the energy bar of my meeple who's running around in this video game world has finite energy. So I sometimes fall into the trap and I forget that. So I
Yeah.
think that would be my false growth mindset.
And you
That
have to
okay,
remind
yes, I
yourself.
can learn, do it, but then I need to have a skill at a very high level, probably to do it faster and be able to conserve my energy as well.
Right. So maybe right now you are at a stage, where things are taking more time because probably you are new at it. And it will take
Yes,
the time that it will, but it is also important to be mindful about your well-being. Your skills and resources in this case would be pausing, sleeping well, taking a break.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Shivani, do you like to share? Okay.
I
We'll
can
move.
share this.
Yes,
I have
Shivani.
this trap of believing that I'm open-minded. I am open-minded in a few things, but there are things that I'm extremely conservative about. Um, and I don't know if I ever want to do something to bring that or change that ever. So yeah, even flexibility. Though I also noticed recently that me, Ishita at work and Ishita at home are absolutely two different people. How is it even possible? I don't know, but then this is how it is. Maybe at home we tend to put our guards down. But now these two Ishitas are absolutely genuine Ishitas, as in somebody, an Ishita at work, who is very open-minded, very flexible, collaborative, thinking, and everything in between. But then Ishita at home, open-minded in selective things, what she wants, flexible in things that she wants. Otherwise, she will get into the loop of overthinking, blaming this and that. Um, yes, I do understand that there is a lot of difference between a professional setup and a home setup, but both these characters have become so genuine to me, so authentic to me, that there is no way I can't find a way to change that yet.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Ishita. And two
Plus
things
one.
I'd like to say. You know, at this point in your statement, whether you are conservative or not, it's a different matter. But just because you're open-minded does not mean that you always have growth mindset. That is something that is to be cautious of. And also, like when you speak, you're saying Ishita is this person at work. Ishita is that person at home. Allow your self to become also. Your your identity is not fixed. Ishita at work does not have to be that Ishita always. Ishita at home does not always have to be that Ishita at home. Allow yourself space to develop, to become, to learn.
Yeah, that will require a lot of experiments, I guess. While you were telling me this, um, I recalled the time when a friend of mine was wearing a beautiful dress, um, the little black dress, and a sports shoe under it. I said, no, these two things don't go together. And I was so conservative that I can't accept that you can wear you have to wear a stiletto under a dress. You are wearing a dress and sports shoe don't go with it. And yeah, she contradicted with me throughout, but then till date I could not do that. Um, yeah, it will need me to take a lot of do a lot of experiments, try a lot of things, and then see what evolves for me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and yeah, just to add on, to what you were saying, change will require effort. That is, and it is you can choose where you want to change or not. Just because you can change everything does not mean, but that should not stem from a belief that I cannot change. You have to give yourself that choice, and that has to be a decision that you make. Yeah. Thank you, Shita. Yes, Srividya.
I think the last one, I am open minded or flexible. That is kind of a tagline when anyone talks about Srividya. Yeah, so uh, I do have the growth mindset. I try to adapt to, habits of um, new things and putting in efforts and all. Um, but yeah, the false growth mindset is a tagline that has been an identity now. Yeah.
And the moment you choose to not be flexible, to not be adaptable, you'll think I don't have growth mindset, which is not a good thing.
Um, I would rather put it this way. If I chose not to do this, not to be open-minded or flexible, immediately the receiver end, labels it as, oh, this girl changed. Yeah, that is the response I receive.
Yeah,
So
you
even though
cannot.
if I choose not to be open-minded at certain areas, so because of this tagline, they are expecting me to be this always, which I think it's not correct, right?
Yes, it is helping. It is limiting you from doing otherwise because now it is become an identity. And if you go a little bit here and there, it means there's something wrong. It is not good.
True.
Yes. So again, for you also, I'll say you cannot control what others are saying or doing, but you can give yourself the leeway of becoming, and learning how to choose when to be adaptable, and when not. That is something that you can control for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Srividya. Yes, Sayali.
Yes, actually, I had gone through with all these four, but the first is the process involves only effort. My problem is that the story is rabbit and tortoise. So in that, I am a tortoise. I am not rabbit, Baba. I learn a lot. I do take
Being
risks.
a tortoise is bad
Yeah.
because
Uh,
we have been said that to speed matters. So rabbit is good, but if it is something you're achieving something slowly and it's taking the pace that it does, it means that you are not incompetent. So you see how is the messaging and how you're tying it up to your situation.
yes. Even I need mentoring. I need input from front person. What I will do now? I'm stuck. Please help
Right,
me. If for
right.
adopting news, but while taking actions, I will only take 30%, then 40%. Even in action, if I sit for doing something new thing, I can sit for 4 to 5 hours continuously. If I go deeply in that work, no one can disturb me. That is also one of the thing. No, I have to complete it today itself. That is also mindset I have. If it is incomplete, the task is incomplete, I feel very uncomfortable. Oh, itna hi reh gaya tha. So I go slowly. So I fall on that first process involves only effort, but action थोड़ा सा slow हो जाता है. Even on core, I am open-minded or flexible. Once again, I am ready to cultivate my abilities. I am ready to learn the new things. Once again, the action point comes, I will take time.
And what is wrong with that is my question.
Yeah.
Would you highlight it if you would say that, I learn very fast, I take action very quickly. So there's already meaning attached to speed also.
So what is my problem? I always trying to think, nahi, I want to be a perfect, so perfect never happens. If you take action, you will learn, then there will be a failure. But then also my mind says, no, at least 30% you should take perfect. You have to make a proper presentation. Then you have to have a very good mic. Then you should have light. Then you should have good attire like that. So I always think, no, I have to be a perfect.
And
Then I feel comfortable.
Yeah, and so two things to that again. That would probably because we have always received appreciation for being perfect, scoring the perfect marks, for being the perfect daughter. So that is where the messaging is stemming from. And in this case, what I'll suggest is prioritize how much effort you want to put where. Do you want everything? Do you want to address everything with equal effort?
I think no.
No, exactly. You cannot immediately let go of everything, but you can prioritize. Yes. Yes, Akansha.
So, now the turtle and the rabbit story has actually been removed. They're not told to kids anymore. They've removed that because they feel like the turtle has its own race and the rabbit has its own race.
Right.
So just answering to what Shayali was sharing, I think each and every individual have their own journey and their own way forward, and it is for them to decide if this speed is sufficient or is it not. Do I
Yes.
need to be perfect in all the aspects, or can I be laid back in some aspects? So it's more like to each their own.
Right. It is important to embrace individuality, and growth mindset allows you to do that. To become a certain person. Fixed mindset will not. It will standardize definitions for you. But growth mindset will allow your authenticity and individuality to thrive. Thank you so much, Akansha.
Thank you.
So, with that, we do come to the end of today's session. I would love to hear from you what your biggest takeaway from today's session has been and what are you going to do differently going forward. And take a minute to look at these questions, think about it. And as you all start sharing and thinking, I would love for all of you to scan this QR code and give your feedback for today's session. Would anyone like to share what has been their biggest takeaway? What are they going to do differently going forward?
I can start. primarily because I read the book years ago. Big proponent of the book. Several of my workshops include concepts from the book. Despite that, I think when I sat through the session, it's like, yeah, I probably had forgotten about this. Yeah, I'm not practicing this anymore. I think it was a good refresher. Knock, knock, knock. You've fallen off the track for me. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad that it has reminded you about what you need to do, what you had thought about, and maybe now is the time to take that action, take that step. Thank you so much, Ankur.
To me, the biggest takeaway was naming your mindset, the false mindset, and embracing it. That yes, it is there, and embrace it as it is, and probably talk to it in a way you talk to growth mindset. So that which stood out for me. So thank you so much.
I'm glad, Akansha. Thank you so much.
Me,
Ali,
apart from embracing the mindset that we have, one thing that I'm really taking away is that the mindset, you can choose it.
Absolutely. And we all are a mixture of two. Nobody is either a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. And both have their role to play. Thank you, Ishita. Rizwana, Smriti, Srividya, Sayali, would love to hear from you.
Srividya has raised her hand.
Oh, Srividya, please go ahead.
So there were two things which had in my mind. I think both Aasawari and Akanksha covered it. One thing is flexibility, and another thing is acceptance. You need to be there were a few things. I have not read this book, and it was on my list, but I couldn't get a chance to read it. But there were new things that were discussed today in today's sessions, like which I thought or which I believed was a growth mindset, but it is not, right? And accepting to that, okay, there is something that called false mindset which exists, and we have to be naming the mindset also is very important, so that we process it better towards growth. And yeah, being flexible also should be the main trait of this takeaway.
Lovely, lovely awareness, Srividya. Thank you so much. So we'll go with Sayali first and then Rizwana. You're on mute. Yes, please.
The important word is individuality word that I have learned, and I am really impressed with that word. Then I am accepting my individuality, that even though I am okay, otherwise I was means it was a feel, अरे बाप रे मैं बहुत slow हूँ तो फिर अभी कैसा होगा मेरा, it was like that. So I am accepting that. Then prioritize my task. That is also I have to learn. Then don't be perfect in work. That I have learned. Then you can fail in life, but once again you can take action. That in our quality and HR term, we always explain PDCA circle. If you know PDCA, plan, do, check, action. That is, if you know ISO certification and all that, na. So plan, do, check, action. That cycle you have to do it. Then I have make my assessment with the help of ChatGPT, and my growth mindset is 60 to 65%. That assessment he had given. Okay, and one last line is, effort plus strategy plus feedback plus practice equal to growth.
Wow, you have beautifully encompassed the essence of this session. Just one reframe that I'd suggest is, instead of saying don't be perfect at work, you can say choose how much effort I want to put in where.
Yes.
Yes? Yes, Rizwana.
Yeah, like most of them covered. I think first thing, I think I have already ordered during the session the book to go through it, because it has
Oh,
been
wow.
yeah, it has been in my to-do list, but I haven't. So today I did. So tomorrow it will arrive, and I'm sure I'm going to read it, spend my weekend with the book for sure. And then the second thing is the perspective of how we look at the growth with this session. It has changed a bit in my mindset. It has, actually made me rethink, like, is it the false growth mindset that I have, or is it really, the growth mindset that I have been carrying all these years? So it's a time to take a little bit of time for yourself, assess yourself, and then proceed further. That's what I would
Time
say.
for some introspection. Absolutely. Lovely share, everybody. And with that, it's a wrap. See you all at the next book read. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. It was a great session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all your hearts and your claps.